And then just real quickly, for anybody who doesn't know about Morgan's Caring Connection, we provide resources and education to families. We have a webinar program where we're doing one webinar a month. Let's just say you can't make it, but you want the recording, just register. We will send it out to anybody that's registered after the fact. We do have the schedule back out on the table with the entire year's schedule. And then if you are planning on doing your estate planning, I will help support you in any way I possibly can. Our services are free. I'll introduce you to people in our network. But if you need funding for the legal fees for your estate planning, you can apply. And depending on income, we can pay possibly up to 100% of your estate planning legal fees. So I just wanted to let everybody know about that as well. Okay, let me grab, I'll do a little introduction for you, Tim. We'll make this all formal. Okay, so we got Tim Markle, is the father of 2 young adults with special health care needs at the Wiseman Center. He is the director of the Wisconsin Youth Health Transition Initiative, outreach program manager for the Children's Resource Center South, and transition faculty for the Wisconsin LEND program. So without further ado, this is Tim. And then you just up and down. This one should be fine because it's PowerPoint.
Sounds good. All right, so first point of clarification, I totally forgot that everything in my life has changed in the last 6 months. So everything that she just said I'm doing, I'm not doing. Okay, just so you know, let's be clear about this. I am currently directing the Wisconsin Autism, I'm going to get myself in even more trouble. I direct nothing, if anybody from the Wiseman Center, I am not a director. I am the transition coordinator and training coordinator for the Wisconsin Autism Transition Demonstration Grant. It's a 5-year grant out of the federal government, and we are looking at improving the outcomes of autistic adults so that they can have more meaningful lives and a better quality of life as they grow older. And we do have a short amount of time. If I could ask for assistance in handing these out. This is your take home. How many of you when you were kids, you're like, oh yes, thank you teacher, I love homework. Yeah, there's a few of you. I know you all. I know, I get it, because I may or may not have been one of those, depending on how you view those people. For the rest of you, feel free to not do your homework, it's okay. You're an adult, you get to do what you want to do. This is why I do what I do. This is my son, Hunter. Hunter is now 28 years old. It is my hope that Hunter lives a life that has meaning, that he feels he is thriving in what he does, that he believes that he has a quality in his life, that he has fun. I want him to be safe. I want him to be connected to other people, because as egotistical as I am, I know I'm going to die. So I want him connected with other people, not just me. And I want his life to be one where it's the life he wants. Not the life I want for him, not the life I think he should live, not the safest life that I think he should live, but the life that he wants to live. So I want to change our conversation a little bit this afternoon. What you have all heard about is such important information that is the beginning of a self-directed life. The supports and services that the government provides and that we can provide for our children for their future are the floor of their success. We need those things in place so that they can grow into a self-determined, self-driven life. So that they can have choices because they have interests, they have opinions, just like you and just like me. So how can we help ourselves think about and plan for, along with our people with disabilities, how do I plan with Hunter to achieve that life? I want to give you some tools. They're from a place called LifeCourse Tools. It's called the LifeCourse Nexus. You'll get the slides. That's where the handout came from. I want to talk briefly about what they call some of the life domains. Domain of daily living and employment. Community living, safety, security, all the way through advocacy and engagement, and then they add on, not the domains, but things that help support those domains, services and supports, and family. We're just going to go through. I'm going to ask some general questions for you to think about. Some of these questions are going to be on that sheet. Other questions are from the website. Other questions are from my little brain. So you may not find them all online, but you'll have them in the PowerPoint. So let's think about daily life and employment. What we're talking about is, what does somebody do as part of their everyday life? This is beyond employment. But when we're thinking employment or non-employment, what environment do I need to be successful? Do I need it really quiet? Do I need it loud? Do I need activity around me so that I feel energized? Or does activity and energy around me give me anxiety and stress me out? What do I want to do? How do I make sure that part of my day, part of my life is stuff that I enjoy? How many hours do I want to work? We asked Hunter this when he was 17 years old. He's like, well, ideally I want to work about 4 hours a week. I said, that's really wonderful, son. We'll talk later. But he knew, because he had a vision about what he wanted to do, and it did not include putting in as many hours as his mom and dad put in. He says, you guys work too much. He was probably right. So he's trying to figure out, how does he support himself when he only wants to, he's overcome that, by the way, when he only wants to work 4 hours, but he knows he doesn't want to work 40. And I got to tell you, I'm not sure that kid could work 40 hours a week and still be healthy. I just really had my doubts. So I don't know if he's ever going to work full time. Who's going to support him? Do I need a job coach, transportation? And once I get done with however many hours I work, what am I going to do with the rest of my life to make it meaningful? How many of us go home and say, oh, good, the most meaningful part of my life is done. Oh, I can't wait to just sit and do absolutely nothing and just be a blob. Some of us may be blobs, but when we're blobs, we're probably not living our most meaningful lives. We're probably sitting there in the back of our head saying, I wish I was doing something else. I wish I had the energy to do something else. It's the same with our kiddos, and we need to work on planning for that. Community living. First off, I want to say, let's take a quick look at culture. Not every culture in the world boots their son and daughters out the door at 18. It's not the way that everybody does it. It's not the way we have to do it. Our kids are on their own journey. They are on a separate journey. Their journey may include living on their own. Their journey may include living in a home with other people. It may include living in an apartment where there's supportive people nearby, or it could include living in our houses. It's a decision that is individual for each family and for each person. There is no wrong way. Do not feel guilty. If someone tries to guilt you because your child with a disability is 35 and living at home, feel free to walk away from that conversation. They do not know you. They do not know your journey. They do not know your child. You need to do what is right for your child and what is right for your family. And if that's living at home, then you make it happen in a way that honors them as an adult and in a way that honors you as an adult. And if they choose to move out, I had one family put it to me this way. They said, Tim, gotta tell you, he's living outside the house, but he's not living independently. We're paying for the apartment. We're paying for his food. And they're okay with that. That's the decision that they made. You have the right to make your own decisions. Don't get fooled by the world around you trying to fit you into a mold that does not fit who you are. If they do live at home, do you talk about how long it's going to be? What are the rules and responsibilities that they're going to have? Are they going to pay rent? If they pay you rent, are you going to spend that money? You're going to set it aside for them? No judgment. You do what you need to do for your family. You know your family best. How are they going to get around? For 18 years, they have probably thought that we are their taxi drivers and that if they ever need to get to go somewhere, all they have to do is tell us where and when, and we're going to get them there. Doesn't happen in adulthood. You're going to have to get really creative at how to get to places they want to go. If they're going to choose to live not at home, what are their options? And then from wherever I am, how am I going to get to the things that I want to do? How am I going to manage to get to have fun? Safety and security. The things that I think about in safety and security is, have we taught them what to do in case of an emergency? I tell the youth that I work with is there's going to come a day where you're not going to be able to stick your head out of the door and go, Mom, and have all your problems solved. You have to figure out what to do in case of emergency. What happens when you're not at home? Do you have your emergency contacts in your phone? Are people going to be able to get you help? This also goes into how do you stay safe? Is guardianship the best option? Or is supported decision-making an option? It comes down to the fact that who is going to make that final decision in my life? Myself or somebody else because I'm not capable of making that decision? And that's what guardianship says. It's just the way the law puts it. Calls it incompetency. And that's there for a reason. There are some people that need the decisions made for them. But I'll also tell you, I've seen plenty of people who needed their decisions made for them at 18, who did not need their decisions made for them at 27. Our kids continue to grow. Our adults continue to grow. You all continue to grow. You learn new skills. You try new things. You learn new things. You experience new things. It's the same thing with our kids with disabilities. They will continue to grow as well. So let's be careful about the decisions we're making for them, especially if we're not making them with them. The worst things you could do is to surprise your child with guardianship. They should be aware of the process all along. They should understand their rights. They should understand the implications. They should at least be told, and as best you can to help them understand. So as you're a teenager and as you have kiddos in your house, what do you need to do now to help them learn and practice to be in charge of their life? I got to tell you, if nobody has ever made a decision, their first decision they will ever make will probably be wrong. If we wait till 18 and say, okay, here you go, all these decisions, these are yours, and we have told them every day for their life what they are doing, what they're going to wear, where they're going to go, how they're going to eat, what they're going to eat, where they're going to go, all these things that we just tell them. And they just nod and say, okay, let's do that. Okay. And then they turn 18 and we're like, hey, what do you want to do? No one's ever asked me that before. So we need to take this time while they're still in our house to teach decision-making skills, to give them the opportunity to fail in little things so they know what it's like to be disappointed. Do any of you ever experience disappointment in your adult lives? Okay, a few of you, thank you for your honesty. Yes, it is part of life, so let's train them in how to handle it. Let's not keep disappointment from them or failure from them. Let's allow them to experience it so that we can help them grow through it and understand how you can live through bad things happening to you, and that how you can thrive even when things don't go your way. How can we utilize technology to keep our kids safe? Is there a way that we can have eyes on, ears on, whatever on? Again, with their knowledge, don't spy on your kids. Do not microchip them without their permission. I've seen the movie. It doesn't end well. But how can you use technology? And then who do I call in case of an emergency? Who are they going to know to reach out to if, for whatever reason, I hate this thought, but me and my wife travel a lot together? What's going to happen if we both don't come home? What is he going to do? We have a plan for that. Social and spirituality. How do we help them now build friendships, relationships? What do they like to do for fun? People, I want to just sing Cyndi Lauper. People with disabilities just want to have fun. So many times we think that there's no capacity for enjoyment, no capacity for fun, that they are just satisfied with having their basic needs met. How many of you are satisfied with having your basic, oh, that's a great life. I got food and a place to live. Thank you so much. I really don't think many of us would call that a meaningful life. They don't either. They just sometimes don't have a voice to tell you that it's not meaningful. How are they connecting with people? Is it online? Is there a way to lean into their interest to develop a job that is something they want to go to, that is something that they enjoy? Are there groups out there that have like-minded people that enjoy what they enjoy? Maybe those people don't have disabilities, but you know what? Not everybody with a disability, not everybody with the disability are the only people who like Thomas the Tank Engine. There's neurotypical people who like Thomas the Tank Engine too. There's neurotypical people that like Dungeons and Dragons. Not many. There's a few of them out there. There's neurotypical people who like to read. There's neurotypical people who like military history, like my son. There's people who like to watch videos. Let's find their interests and let's help them lean into those interests in a safe way. Who's teaching our children about sex and relationship? Gone are the days where we assumed if somebody had a disability that they had no sexual feelings. It had to be a horrible time back then for those people with disabilities. I don't feel what? Then what is this? We need to responsibly teach them to keep them out of the sight of the law, to keep them from destroying a part of their lives unknowingly because they haven't learned the proper social norms, because they're not going to pick it up on the playground. They have to be taught. We need to sit down and teach our kids about relationships, respect, and sexuality. They won't just pick it up. And then how about those that have a faith and spirituality background? How does that fit into a meaningful life? How are they going to express that faith? Have they had the opportunity to check out other areas of spirituality? Do they think that, have you ever had the conversation? Do you think that you're more than your body? Some of the most faithful spiritual people I know are people with disabilities. And they're like, Tim, every day I remind myself that this is my shell. And I'm going to wear my shell and I'm going to get through this life, but I got something else coming. I'm like, you are awesome. Healthy living. Managing and accessing healthcare. You already heard that a lot changes in the adult world. The hospital your kid goes to may change. Primary care physician they see may change. The specialists they see may change. All these things could be planned for. We sometimes have kiddos that do not like surprises. We need to show them the new hospital. We want to introduce them to the new clinic when it's not a time of stress. We need to do this planfully. We need to be working on helping them figure out what their body is saying to them. What are their medications for? How do they refill a medication? I went away to college, and for the first time in my life, the medication fairy failed. I ran out of medicine. I didn't know that my mom refilled it every month. It was just always there until it wasn't. Let's teach our kids about all those secret things that we do for them. Teach them how to do them as adults, slowly. How do I stay healthy through eating? Through exercise that I might actually enjoy. I'm 61 years old. I still haven't figured that out. It's a journey. How about their mental health? Are they checking in with anybody? Are they staying mentally healthy? What do they need to do to keep healthy mentally? How do we help them be able to work, live, and play the way they want to and be healthy? We all have a different baseline of health. There's no universal baseline of health. This is about being as healthy as we can be, given the body and the circumstances that we have around us. How do I make a difference in the world? If I'm under guardianship, have I reserved the right to vote? Do I get to volunteer places? How do I communicate with the world around me? Have I learned how to ask for help? One of the biggest areas of growth was when my son said, you know what, I need help. And I'm going to do anything I can to get it, because he was a compliant little child. He wouldn't tell us that he didn't want to do something. He wouldn't tell us that anything was wrong. He would nod, pretend like he understood, and then do what he thought was best. Didn't work out with some supervisors at work because they didn't communicate very well with him. They would give him jobs like, well, if the floor is dirty enough, then it should be mopped. I know how dirty a floor needs to be for me to mop it. I don't have any idea how dirty a floor needs to be for him to mop it. And I don't know how much dirty the floor needs to be for the supervisor to want it mopped. Clear instructions are really important for some of our kiddos. But they need to contribute. They want to contribute. Sometimes the only reason why when I talk to people, they're like, well, I don't contribute because I've just given up. Nobody wants my help anyway. I tell them that each of us is born with a gift. Each of us is born with value. Each of us is born being able to contribute. We've just got to figure that out. They want to be a part of something bigger than themselves. They don't want to live in little worlds. They see the big world, and they want to be a part of the big world. What supports do they need to be there? How do we help them express their opinions and not say, oh, that's just silly? How do we let them be who they are? Then we finally get to the services and supports, things that are out there to help them that we can reach out to, resources that are out there. Giving you little definitions, little acronyms on the side that you may run into. If your child's on children's long-term support, CLTS, start talking to your case manager about how to apply for adult long-term support. What is that going to look like? It's not an automatic process. There's steps you're going to need to take. If I need help with employment, do I know how to connect to the people with the Division of Vocational Rehabilitation, DVR? Is my school helping me? Your school's supposed to be helping you. If your school's not helping you, guess what? You can reach out to DVR yourself. They're not a closed system. You get to refer yourself to DVR, even if your school's like, I don't think he's ever going to work. Baloney. Reach out to DVR. Help your child reach their dreams. If I'm going on to higher education, do I understand that there should be a disability service center at each institution of higher learning? Some are better than others. But a lot of them are there, and they're really good to help navigate the differences in college life. And if I'm in high school, are they actively participating in their PTP? Is their education something that is being done with them, with their goals in mind, with their input in mind? Or is their education something that is being done to them? Education should not be done to anybody. Medicine should not be done to anybody. They should be involved in their decisions. They should be involved in their planning. They should be setting their goals, and they should have a voice in those areas of their lives that matter to them. If they choose not to be a part of the PTP, that can be their choice. But they should always be invited, and they should always, in my opinion, be there. And then there's a lot of change that happens with the family. Guess what, parents? This is not an easy switch, moving from child to adult. There are a lot of emotions. There are a lot of different considerations that need to happen. How are we thinking about moving from the director and the safety director of my child's life to the supporter of their dreams? Helping them stay safe, but maybe more on their terms than my terms. That's hard. And then how are we caring for ourselves? We are not going to be there forever. But the better I take care of my health, the better I take care of my mental health, the better I am able to support Hunter and be there for him. About the most important thing you can do for your child with a disability is keep yourself healthy, mentally and physically. Do what you can to give yourself as much energy as you can have to be there for them when they need you to be there. Take care of yourselves. You matter too. You also were made for a reason. You also have been designed for a purpose. You have gifts to give to this world. You have contributions that you can make as well. And then as we think about what's going to happen, who's going to step up when we're gone? How do we build this lifelong circle of support around our children? Support systems, financial stuff, they're going to come and go. The relationship that I have with my son is going to last a lifetime. Am I doing everything I can in the power for him to know that he is loved, that he is worthy, and he always has some place to go that will accept him for who he is, and that he never has to mask, never has to pretend around me. He gets to be the wonderful child, the wonderful man that he has been made to be. Thank you. Go forth, future plan. You guys rock. You are doing a great job.